Me around. So again, thank you for joining us this morning for our morning devos. Take a few moments, please, if you would, and just kind of share and like that button. We want to impact as many people as we can. We want to see as many people just engaging with what the Father has to share this morning. And as always, I'd like to have more views than my beautiful wife, Laura, who's just awesome with these devos. But again, thank you for joining us this morning. Today, I'd like to talk to you about another one of my struggles, which is resisting the devil. In James chapter 4, verse 6, it says, but he gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. And it's one of those verses that is foundational for me. I go back to it. I've struggled with so many repetitive sins in my life. I've struggled with anger, with sexual immorality, impure thoughts, lust. Alcohol was a big crush for me growing up. I drank a lot. I did a lot of bad things. So that as I began my journey with the Father and was born again into Christ, and I began the journey with to be more holy, to live a more holy lifestyle, I would find myself falling under this repetitive sin. And oftentimes, I'd hear pastors and leaders tell me, just resist the devil and he will flee, or resist the devil and he will flee. And it's true, but it made me so angry because every time I thought, I'm going to resist the devil today. Here comes that temptation to watch that show I shouldn't watch, or have this drink I shouldn't have, or whatever. Think about this girl the way I shouldn't be thinking about this woman. Whatever it was, I would say, let me resist, and I would try to resist the way you're about to get punched in the stomach, so you flex and you tense up, and that's what I was resisting, because that's what I thought it meant. Was I had to tense up and kind of just not allow temptation to overcome. And I realized the Lord, through his graciousness in me crying out for help, helped me realize that wasn't it. He brought me again to that end of verse 6, which is, God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. He ties that into resisting the devil. And the biggest sin that I probably had was that of pride. I come from a very proud family, very proud of ourselves. We have a lot of pride in us, because we've gone through a lot. We've suffered a lot, and I'm sure all of us have. But we've always persevered and come through, at least so I thought. So I was very proud of who I was and what I was capable of. How strong I was, how smart I was, how I could outthink my way out of most things. So when it came to resisting the devil, I thought I was strong enough there too. And I can't tell you how many times he broke me. How many times in my pride I stumbled and fell. And it was one of the reasons that I was away from God for so long. And even though I knew I had to come back home, my pride turned into shame, turned into guilt, turned into a hardened heart where I couldn't feel the love of the Father, because I honestly believe I didn't deserve it. I felt that I had sinned so many times. I had done that sin so often. And I don't know what yours is today. I don't know if it's lust or pornography or alcoholism or drugs, but whatever that sin is that you've fallen to so many times, and you think, God can't forgive me anymore. I've just gone too far gone. And I want to challenge you the way God challenged me, which is to humble yourself. And what that looked like for me, friends, was getting to a point of brokenness, coming before the Father, and simply saying, God, I know I don't deserve this. Father, I know I don't deserve your grace and your forgiveness. I know there's nothing I can do that's worth your sacrifice. But I also know you love me anyway. I know that you chose me while I was yet a sinner. You died for me. Father, and I know your sacrifice and your love is greater than my shame. And I said, Father, take that shame from me. Take that pride from me. And Father, I can't do anything without you. And when I began to pray that prayer, that Father, I can't do anything without you, Lord. Show me, direct me, guide me, love me into whatever it is you need me to do. When I began to humble myself in that way, and that was what humbling for me meant, was acknowledging that he was greater than me, that I can't get myself out of this problem, that only the Lord can truly deliver me and bring me forth. When I began to do that, then I was able to resist the devil in a way that the Lord intended. So when these temptations and thoughts would come in, then I can go into prayer, or I can put on a praise and worship song, or I can put on the Eddie James radio. I love Eddie James, by the way, and worship honestly and purely. And in that moment, those temptations would lose their power and they would flee. And then I was able to pray into things like I'm more than a conqueror. I'm the head and not the tail, right? That I'm part of a royal priesthood, and live those things out because I had humbled myself before my Father. And he loved me. And because he loved me, he took care of me and was able to help me overcome those temptations. So this morning, I don't know what it is you're dealing with, right? And as we get ready to close, I want you to think about that repetitive sin you have. Whatever it is that keeps stumbling, that keeps tripping you up, keeps making you believe that you're not enough. And I want to challenge you, my friends, to humble yourself before the love of the Father. Know that he loves you. Know that he's chosen you. Know that you're not an accident. You're blessed, you're favored, and you're anointed. And my friends, know that his sacrifice is more than enough to cover anything you may have done. He's calling you home. He's waiting for you with open arms. So friends, be blessed. So today I want to challenge you. Finally, let's go win the day. Love you guys.